Don't they every year used to make like a box of 100? That was like a really long one.
Mate, I think you might be right. I think I've seen that before. The 180 one is just...
I'm right. I was just saying it like I wasn't totally sure.
Why?
Because to start a conversation, I didn't want it to be like, yeah, they do this thing, fun fact, and then that's it, you know. Maybe like someone had a story of having a box of 100.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, Andrew Kent.
Are we
Fun
starting?
fact.
Is this it?
Yeah, we
Sure.
started.
We're on the podcast. Amazing.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still sore from Family Feud 2 days ago.
Yeah.
I think we should recap that show.
That sounds good. Yeah.
How was it for you?
I had a fun time, you know. Like there was a mix of energy. I feel like about half the people on the show were just kind of trying to have fun, having fun show. The other half were pissed off about something, so it created an interesting like kind of dynamic. But yeah, Max did a full. Did you hear about this, Samson?
Oh yeah, I heard.
Yeah, Max did a full-on front flip on stage during the show.
My neck hurts.
Yeah, you can tell because you're not moving it very much back and forth. You're like turning your entire body.
Yeah, they had to like, you know, and it just slung my neck and it, yeah. But I guess the crowd liked that. But what else was there? Arm wrestle.
There was Max, you did. Yeah, I thought you were gonna die that show. Honestly,
I did.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a debate show, and they wanted to figure out who goes first, so they had the two teams arm wrestle, and Max, you arm wrestled Eric Cole, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And it was rough. It looked like your arm was about to pop off.
Yeah.
Did he have full dad strength?
I guess not. I somehow won. I've never won an arm wrestle before. It felt good to move my arm that way. But yeah, I don't know how that worked. Maybe it was like a stage adrenaline thing or something. But then we kissed at the end of it.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
At the end of the arm wrestle or at the end of the show?
End of the last round, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, you and Eric had quite the night. Have you spoken since then?
We had quite the morning, too.
Whoa.
Yeah, basically, we lost. Yeah.
It was you two and Ian on the team?
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Anyways, what's up, dude?
Not much. I've had quite the morning.
Tell me about it.
Well, you know, I think it all goes back to the conflict in the Middle East, like a lot of things.
Sure.
Yeah, my girlfriend won't go to Starbucks anymore because I guess they give money to Israel, you know? So we have to go to Dutch Bros, and I fucking hate Dutch Bros.
They also give money to Israel?
Do they give money? See, that's the problem.
See, I don't know that. They just seem like they would.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, the whole company's run by like virtue signaling 16-year-olds, so I'm sure they're probably pretty good on that side. But I feel like if you're... there's so many better substitutes to Starbucks than Dutch Bros, I think.
BlackRock,
like anywhere
the human
else.
being.
If you took some dirt on the ground and ran some water through it, that'd probably be a little better than Dutch Bros.
Yeah, go get the instant coffee from Jackson's. It's better.
Yeah, I mean, we'll rehash a joke. It's if you want to go to Dutch Bros, it's where you want like a knockoff Red Bull queef in a cup sprinkle drink. But I think if you like coffee, literally anything else is better.
I'd agree with that. And I think what's the worst thing for me is the customer service there. They're just way too happy.
It's too much.
It's too much. First thing in the morning, they're just like, what are you guys up to today? And I was trying to like kind of shut the conversation down a little bit. I was like, we're just doing chores. And I thought that would kind of be the end of it. And then she was like, what chores are you doing?
Oh my God.
Fuck yeah.
I can't do this.
Holy shit, I'm going to go buy a gun and come back here. That's my chore of the day.
Like, I'm getting coffee and then going back home to take a nap because I don't know what I am anymore.
Dude, I remember seeing a news article about some Dutch Bro employees where like they were like praying over somebody like in the morning because like their husband had passed away recently or something, and it like came up in the Dutch Bros conversation, and I'm like, if I was behind that person, like waiting to get my coffee, I would be so pissed off. Like, you're praying, really? Like, make my fucking coffee. You're not Joel fucking Osteen. You're fucking Johnny, the 16-year-old who's supposed to make my goddamn coffee in the morning.
Was it like a religious prayer? Because I feel like a lot of Dutch Bros people do things entirely off of vibes, and they're probably trying to like...
Will they just go with any
Bless your
premise
aura.
that you give them? I haven't like tried this out before.
Yeah, maybe they do like just the normal customer service thing where if they feel like you have any opinion, they're just on your side because they want you to like them sort of thing, but they just don't know how to
It's probably that.
properly outlet it.
That made me feel like I thought like for the longest time Dutch Bros was like a heavily
For the
Christian organization after that. And then like I learned about they do like, you know, employee like retreats and stuff where like everyone goes and like to a conference for Dutch Bro employees. It's very culty business.
There's one right by where I work, and they have like a headquarters building right behind it. And during certain times of the day, you always see like just employees not walking, but not run, like fast walking down Chinden all the time. And I thought it was because I mean, there's like homeless people that do that all the time too. But you'd always see them, and you're like, you guys look a little too well dressed for the. And I think it's just because they're so gacked out on their like knock off Red Bulls and stuff that like they just need to go like sprint down Chinden for a minute, which is a dangerous road to sprint down.
It's a crazy one.
What'd you get at Dutch Bros?
Oh yeah, so I don't know. I was a little thrown off, so I just got like a black tea for some reason, and that just has messed up like my whole routine and rhythm for the morning. On my way over here, I had to like stop at like the McDonald's restroom to like take a shit there. You know, which is it's an experience.
Never do that.
You know, like I mean,
unless I'm on a road trip.
it's gotten nicer, I'll say. You know,
The bathroom or your shit?
I mean, a little both actually.
All right.
Tea is good.
Doesn't McDonald's also donate to?
They probably. I think
To the
everybody.
wrong people?
Isn't everybody just giving money to Israel one
Yeah,
way or the
yeah,
other? I don't think you could like
probably.
really avoid that.
Yeah,
Sure.
you're
I can't remember
right.
if I've talked about this on here, but I was talking about this the other day. I was at the co-op and I noticed all their Ben and Jerry's was incredibly on sale, like half price. And I was like, "Why? Why is this?" And then the next week I went back, all of it was gone, and they didn't restock it. Ben and Jerry's is like an Israeli like company, like so.
Half off for Hamas.
So like the co-op was like, we gotta get rid of this shit. Like we can't sell this in our liberal co-op right now. It's like, okay, cool.
Bunch of Hamas holes.
We serve Hamagendas.
So if you were at a coffee place and they weren't being all up in your ass about it, what would you have gotten?
Oh, let's see. I mean, probably just like a black coffee. I'm kind of like a basic bitch, you know.
Is that a
I don't really
basic
do the
bitch drink,
fancy.
or
Is it? I don't know anymore.
I feel like that's a basic white man drink, like, or just like a man drink. Like if you're like going to a coffee shop as a man and you're like looking at all the fruit drinks and you're like, can I just get a black coffee, please? As black as it comes. No creamer, no room for creamer. Just give it to me black.
I think I had somebody call me out for they were like, I feel like someone told me that they feel like people that order black coffee order it just so that people see that you're ordering black coffee.
Just say it really loudly.
And they're right. At first, like that's definitely why I was doing it at first.
Yeah.
But then it got to where it grew on me. So I think it's like cigarettes or beer or something where like the first you're like, ew, gross, but like I'll power it down because my friends are around. And then after like a month, you're like,
That's so true. That's how it was for like the straight espresso shots for me. Like at first I didn't really like them, and then like after just having the machine up there and just like drinking them all the time, I'm like I fucking need these in the morning now.
I think it's also something with like water-based drinks. I get weird with putting like milk in it. It's just it's odd. It's weird with me, and I know it's not a huge deal, but like. Something about milk and water together. If I know there's like a good amount of both, I'm just,
Mix it up.
I will say, answering black when they ask you about your coffee does feel pretty cool. You know,
You're like, oh,
they're like, "How do you
shit."
want your coffee?" Black. It's just like there's something very like powerful about that.
There is.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I'm a man.
I think it's also how good does it feel like when you order, there's like 5 people in front of you and they're like, can I have a coffee with 9 of these, 2 of those, 6 shots of these, and you're just like, black coffee, and they're like, you feel like you're doing them like a serve where you're like, take a load off, bro, just pour it into the thing. And
I don't
give
want
it
to
to me.
trouble you like these other
Yeah.
assholes. Yeah.
No, for sure. You can like see the relief on their face. Like, oh, thank you. Like,
I will say I've been I like a little cinnamon in my coffee, and whenever I go to a plate, like my ideal way would be to like put cinnamon in the coffee grounds and like brew it through there. So there's just like a little, I like such a little amount of cinnamon, like, you know how people say like sparkling water tastes like the fruit flavor, but like the fruit was next to it, sort of thing. Like
yeah.
Which also people say that about LaCroix all the time. Like other sparkling water doesn't taste like, all sparkling water tastes like that. And if it tastes like actual fruit soda, it's got sugar in it. It's not real. But what was I saying?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, cinnamon in my coffee. I've had a lot of cinnamon coffee today. But I always tell them, like, give me like such like however much you think I want, do like half of that. Like I want such an essence of cinnamon, but like not. And they always mess it. They do like, and it like sticks to the lid of the cup. And then when you get to the bottom, there's just like orange dust all over the place. And that's all my talking for this episode.
You guys have had espresso martinis.
Mm-hmm.
You know how they dust like a little bit of coffee?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I
yesterday asked for a little bit of cinnamon as well on the top of it. That's fucking good, dude. Yeah. Next time you're at Amsterdam, try that out.
That's a good move. They do like some of the best in the state, don't they?
They have.
Isn't that
They have probably
rated?
the best espresso martini I've ever had. It's so good there. It's also like $16, but you know,
Yeah.
it's worth it.
It's a morning and a night drink in one. It's, you know, you're getting day and night.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I just had to look up what pamplemousse is.
Oh.
Pamplemousse?
Yeah, it's just grapefruit, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that. It was like, what is that flavor? That
Is that
seems
the LaCroix
weird.
flavor
Yeah.
that Max has?
I kept looking at that. I'm like, what the fuck is pamplemousse,
Yeah.
dude?
And out of all the things to make fun of, like LaCroix sparkling, like make fun of like the names that they give the fruit flavors, not what it tastes like. LaCroix tastes like every sparkling water.
I swear to God, there is like a grapefruit LaCroix though, also. And this is just French grapefruit? Like, I don't
Maybe.
understand.
The coconut one's the best, I think.
Really?
But it's always sold out anywhere you go.
I like the limoncellos.
Yeah. I like I think the Perrier lemon lime sparkling water. I think that's probably my like favorite out of all of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway, again, every time I say anyways, take a drink. Andrew, how did you get into being such a silly goose?
You know, I don't think it was really a choice, just like intrusive thoughts, I guess. You know, you just have random thoughts about the McDonald's bathroom and you just sort of, there's only one acceptable place to like share those with the world. So like comedy shows and stand-up. So that's kind of how it happened. I just would have some neurotic thought, be like, well, I wonder if I say this funny in a room full of people, would it work? And that's just kind of how it happened.
You did improv before, yeah?
I did improv. Yeah, a little bit. Did about a year of improv classes and stuff.
Here in Boise?
Yeah, here in Boise. Yeah, Recycle Minds.
Was it that before stand-up or stand-up and then you just...
Pretty much at the same time. Technically improv like a month sooner, something like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So did improv like help you want to get on stage to do stand-up, or were you just like, I want to do both of these? And
I think improv was more like helping with. I wanted to do stand-up. Improv was just kind of like, well, I'll just try that and see what it's like. I definitely like the earlier classes. Like they're just kind of silly and it's fun, you know. Just do these like short little bits and stuff. Like as you get like kind of further along, it becomes more serious, you know. Like, do you guys know about the gun thing?
Oh,
Yeah.
you hold it like that, not like that.
Yeah, if you're on stage, you're not supposed to like make a finger gun or whatever. You have to
Why?
like pretend, because if you were actually holding a real gun, it'd be like this or something, you know. And so you're supposed to like, if you do this, people might find that funny or something. So you don't want to do that at an improv comedy show.
But people might find that funny. So would you want to do that?
They want it like real, authentic, not like cheap funny.
Yeah.
Like yeah, it's I don't know. So there's big difference, like a cheap laugh and a genuine laugh, I think. And if it's honestly, it's like prop comedy where like it's like you don't want this to be the one fun. You want this to like help with the bigger funny point you're trying to make.
I get that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, here, let me do a little drawing here.
I just feel like that's kind of a silly line to draw, is with the gun thing.
That's kind of, yeah. No,
Don't point your finger out, you know, like
It's like here's like so it's like the difference between like hiring a stand-up versus a comedy actor for a movie, for like a scene you're doing. Like, so you have like your movie where there's like your high point, your low point, and your high point and your low point or something near the end. This is like the whole story you have. And then you let's say you need something here to like raise this up to the whole thing. And so you get your comedian to do something right here. And generally with like a stand-up comedian, they're thinking about how can I make just this scene of me funny. But like a comedy actor's thinking, how can I make like, you know, the whole thing as a funny thing? And like, because you got to like think about the whole story and how this scene is helping that whole thing. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times the stand-up comedian, they're generally just thinking about this part. And they're only trying to make all their jokes here. And they kind of just only, you know, jizz basically a bunch of, you know, it's very funny for that scene, but it doesn't really help the overall thing. Maybe, you know, a finger gun would make it funny.
Look at the diagram. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
But as you can see, it kind of just fucks up. It kind of fucks that whole scene. You know what I mean? It's a dick and that's a vagina. That's what I was saying.
I picked up on that. Yeah, no, it legitimately actually does make sense, but it's definitely I'm much more of a silly fuck up the whole scene kind of person. So.
I just like finger gun
guy.
I'm a finger gun kind of guy, you know.
Just like finger guns.
That's who I am.
We were taking pictures at this wedding I was at in Vegas, and it was like all the guys, and they're like, "All right, guys, everybody pose for the picture. 1, 2, 3," and on 3 I went finger guns. Everybody like started laughing. And I was like, "Nobody else did finger guns? What the fuck, you guys?" And then we took
Whose
another
guns?
we took another one, and we were like, "All right, everybody finger guns this time."
Then there's the kid named Guns. Like, no.
He's like, "Please stop."
I remember I did a improv show, and it was like one of those, like the theater company they would do these like really short, low budget improv shows between like bigger shows that they had, but it was very like minimal everything so that they wouldn't have to like take down a whole set or whatever. And we were doing whatever scene, and on the stage there was like a row of glasses, and the scene was like us at a bar or something, so I grabbed one, and one of the kids was like, grab the glass, and I was like, fucking, are you kidding me? Like I have to pantomime the fucking when there's glasses right here. And like that's where I'm just like, I get that you're trying to like, you know, hold the gun like this, like make the audience, like make your acting show that this, but it's also like use your surroundings, you know. And it's a weird thing. I think improv helps a lot, but it can also, I get why people don't like it.
Yeah. I would definitely for respect for like the people who do it like very well. It's like extremely hard to do. Mm-hmm. Legitimate art form.
Every once, I think even like the best improv, like a Second City or Groundlings or something, like it's even very rare for them to like have a like full like improvised scene that's like perfect, that like works and makes like, it's really, really hard to do it properly.
I just found out that a lot of those Friday beers people that work for that like comedy skit company are like Groundlings people and stuff.
Good.
The girls and stuff that are like kind of new, and like a lot of the like the newer dudes and stuff. Yeah, they all like do Groundling shit or like some sort of improv stuff outside of, you know, that like. And it makes sense when you watch their podcast and you see like the improv scenes that they do and shit, you know, like they're really like, if you ever want to watch good improv, you should look up like Friday Beers podcast, Will and Angus, or what's his name? I can't remember, but Liam and Angus, they're fucking hilarious, dude. Like they just like, they'll like come up with like characters, like very specific characters. Like they'll be like, your name is, they'll come up with like a fucking full name for someone. They'll be like, you're a 70-year-old volleyball coach working in a high school, and a mom comes in to talk to you about like their kid getting playing time or something. And then, like they always have a direction for it to go, but it's just like, it's really fucking good. And it's like, I feel like the majority of like improv that I see around here that's like kind of more casual improv, like they don't go that specific, you know, like they don't try, like it's more situations rather than like this is a person talking, like a specific person talking about a specific thing. Like it's more like, hey audience, can we get 3 things for you to yell out at us or whatever, a place, a person, and a thing.
Yeah, it's It's really hard. Have you been to like a Groundlings show or a Second City thing, or
no, I
like
haven't.
a professional improv group?
I mean, so I've done some of I've seen some of the Recycled Mind shows or whatever, and they do a lot around town, and random ones in like Seattle, but I can't remember the names. So yeah,
It's really cool, like seeing like professional improv people that like that's their living sort of thing. Because I think like a lot of old like SNL people did Groundlings, and like Will Ferrell did it, Kristen Wiig did that. Yeah, it's a really hard, annoying art form that only works in the theater. Outside of that, improv people are so annoying.
Yeah, improv people are like the same people that are like your student body government. And like,
As someone who's done improv for like 5 years, I get it. We're the worst.
Did you guys ever run for student body government?
oh yeah, I was on student body government all through high school.
What position?
Senator at large.
Missionary.
The only reason I chose that is because it was senator at large.
Oh, hell yeah.
And we went to a small school, so it was like I was the only one running.
I got voted for something because I came into the McCall school district when like in the middle of it. I haven't been a ride or die forever, and for some reason it was me and some now a truck nut in. We're not going to say names, but the people up in McCall, and it was like me and someone whose name rhymes with smile, and no one really knew me, and we did the voting thing like 2 weeks into the school year, and I knew like one kid maybe, and I won the thing and went to like one meeting and nothing. I never the student government never did anything.
Would that have been like 8th grade?
It was 6th.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense in 6th grade that they wouldn't do anything.
Does it make more is 8th grade? Should they be doing something?
I don't know. But I feel like high school, the student body government does a little bit more as far as just like event planning and stuff like that.
Put the poster on this wall
exactly.
instead of that wall.
I think so, yeah. They like pick themes for dances and shit like that.
Yeah, we picked like
something
prom
like that.
theme and then like did like homecoming stuff and planned all the pep rallies and...
Any controversies in your political run?
Not in my political run.
Smear campaigns
in high school, but in my college political camp, I was the vice president of public affairs for the Interfraternal Council for a year.
Sounds like a Star Wars like
kind of is
Palpatine position.
We had like one of those big auditoriums where you get to like hit a button and float down it.
I am the Senate.
No, but we'd have like a meeting every week with all the fraternity presidents and like everyone on IFC because we were the governing body of all the fraternities. And so since I was vice president of public relations, it meant that I had to do like all the event planning for like the full Greek life events, but I also had to deal with like anything bad that happened at a fraternity, and then like news outlets were like, hey, what the fuck is going on? I had to be like, nothing.
That is legitimately a hard job.
Absolutely nothing is happening at this fraternity. They definitely did not strip down to their skimpies and dance in front of a sorority last night. That never happened for sure.
What are skimpies?
Birthday suits?
Naked.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I always thought that was underwear. I'm learning.
I was underwear and I just fucked up the phrasing. That was my bad. They went into their birthday suits.
Do it right. You got another chance.
The fraternity definitely didn't strip down into their birthday suits to do a serenade in front of one of the sororities.
That's pretty.
That definitely didn't happen, Mr. Spokane Review Man.
Cool rhyme. IFC. Speaking of the old news network, the Whitest Kids You Know used to be on, will now be on some other streaming service, and we'll have everything they ever made on there, and a DVD box set. I'm so jealous watching you do that. Seeing your neck move like that's insane.
If it was 3 days ago, I couldn't have done it. My neck was pretty sore from mountain biking. But I've recovered from sleeping in the beanbag. Should take a sleep in the beanbag one night.
No. Speaking of recovery, word on the street is you're pretty good at that.
At recovery?
That was like a running joke at the Funny Feud. I mean, Ian just kept making fun of you for recovery things, but
Oh, I don't remember.
Were you
Really?
a drug addict
Well,
at some point?
No,
Not that I know of.
No, in the terms of like ice baths and shit. Like,
Oh, yeah. I'm one of those annoying guys. I do the ice baths. Yeah.
Do you have like one of the ice bath, like you can like pop it up in your house or whatever and fill it up?
Pretty much, dude. Like okay, so like I did like the weird DIY version where I bought like a, couple $100 chest freezer on Amazon and like sealed the seams. And so there's like a fucking chest freezer just like in my kitchen. And like when I was dating, in that magical time where you first like bring a girl back to your place, I had to like have
ice
a
bath.
pre-speech to like
Explain.
warn her, before it's just like, hey.
This freezer is not for your body.
well, it is sort of.
You can get in there if you want. I won't close the lid unless you ask.
Here's what I've done cold plunges a few times, and I do feel great afterwards, sort of thing.
That's true.
But I also have heard that there's like literally zero scientific anything of like a real benefit for it. It's just like the same logic of like if I was punching you for an hour and then I stopped afterwards, you'd be like, oh, I feel a lot better.
Yeah, like psychologically, like
It's like, yeah, because you're not getting punched anymore. You're not
there's definitely
freezing.
some truth to that. Yeah, I mean, like if you, I don't know. I guess like I think your mind like kind of grades everything that happens to you throughout the day like on a curve. So if you have this like moment of like intense pain at some point, everything else from there, you're just like, well, it wasn't so bad.
That's actually a good point.
So if you're ever having a bad day, cut off a finger.
Yeah,
Everything else won't seem that bad.
I haven't done like a true cold plunge ever, like ice in the fucking bath or whatever. But there are times where like in the spring or whatever, I'll be on a bike ride and I'll like jump in the river, and like sit in it for a little bit, and it's cold because it's high water or whatever. But yeah, and or like when we were in high school and we'd jump in the fucking lake while there's still ice in it.
Yep.
But
I did that.
it's more of a polar plunge to show how big of balls we have compared to everybody else.
They get a lot smaller after.
Look how big mine are. They can handle this shrinkage.
I did one on like a legit cold plunge on Christmas this year, or I guess last year, where like it wasn't just like an in and out, because that's I think the difference in like a polar plunge and a cold is like you jump in the cold thing but you get out, but like this was like actual breath work and like trying to like calm yourself down and like just be in the water as long as you can. And I got about a minute and a half. My mom did like 3 or 4 minutes. It was crazy.
Yeah, she's given birth to like 4 kids. She can probably handle a lot of pain.
For real. And they're all a lot bigger than she is.
Huge kids.
I'm not that big, but I'm bigger than my mom, and I can't imagine. I was a chubby baby from what
I'm sure you all were. A bunch of Knudsons. You guys are like you guys are like Marshall's family from fucking How I Met Your Mother.
Oh yeah. Yeah. My dad is Jason Segel.
Like when he
You're
goes,
probably not too different, right?
Oh, in terms of
Probably
like,
tore your mom up.
I mean, I think I wasn't so bad as far as, I think I was like 9 pounds as far as like my younger
Solid.
brother was like fucking 11 pounds. And,
oh my God. Did she get a C-section?
No.
Oh.
Yeah. Like,
Dude, my 2 cousins came out like toddler sized, like 15 and 16 pounds.
What the fuck?
Yeah, my aunt had C-sections for both of them. There was like they were
good.
too
Yeah.
fucking big to come out.
That's insane.
She's like 5'1". Like she's tiny. So like, yeah, they were huge babies, and neither of them are like big people at all. They're both like my height, like athletic, but like not like thin builds. But I don't know.
that's crazy.
Yeah, it was wild. But yeah, I was like normal. I was like 7 pounds, 8 ounces or something.
Well, that was like a huge killer of women back in the day, was childbirth, right?
It
like
still is.
I mean,
It still is.
but even compared to like medieval times, weren't like,
no.
like,
Yeah, like
I don't know, like 30%
Everything
or
was
something
killing
like
women.
that.
yeah, dude, it was dangerous for women to leave their houses way more back then.
Andrew, if you had a movie made about you, who do you want to play you?
Ooh, that's a good. I mean, like,
Keanu Reeves, I can see it.
I think Keanu would be pretty good. Yeah, I'd love that.
Okay, now what's
actually.
your answer?
I was gonna say Henry Cavill, just for like my own vanity, like that'd be pretty cool. But I think Keanu.
Superman.
I think Keanu's more accurate, like.
You just kind of look like Keanu Reeves a little bit, honestly.
similar vibes. I feel like you know.
See, if he
I think
did
it's
his
like
hair
your
a certain
facial
way.
structure a little bit, but Henry Cavill, dude, that guy is a fucking badass, bro. Oh my god.
I always have said it Henry Cavill, and I know it's wrong, but I just
See, I've said Cavill before, but
I'm jealous of that guy. Like he gets to be a huge nerd, and everybody loves him for it.
either way, I was gonna say Jay Farrow should have played you. He's good at impressions, and so are you. Do you have any other impressions besides your? Let's see. You have a Trump one, and you have a
your Alex Jones impression.
Alex Jones is good.
Right,
Yeah.
the best Alex Jones I've ever heard.
Oh,
Honestly.
thank you very much. Yeah.
Especially just like
Oh, so you got an Elvis. Too.
yeah, just slipped into it. Just kind of happens.
No, it's the way you end your Alex Jones bit is so funny, like with the supplement.
I'm glad you did it during Funny Feud for a second.
Oh, for a little bit. Yeah,
What-
we're talking about, the government wants to take away your driver's license. All right, people. Here's what you got
That's
to do.
right. It was. Should we? What was it? Should we have like a second driver's test when you're 65 or something?
I think that was it, yeah. And we
100%.
argued. I think that's why we lost. Is we like kind of took like the funnier positions that everyone would hate because we were like,
Yeah.
no, fuck it,
Well,
let
that's
old
what it
people
is.
drive.
It's
Who
a
cares?
comedy show.
You know. But yeah,
it's a roast to you. Okay.
Still a comedy show.
Yeah.
But
no, I love doing the Alex Jones voice. That's actually,
Does it
you know,
hurt?
it was one of those. Not too much, you know, unless sometimes if I, you know, kind of like get too into it or lose control like a little bit. But yeah, even before I started doing comedy, I'd just be alone in my car, be like, our government wants to take your, you know, like all that shit. It's so. It's just one of those things that just sort of like pops out of you sometimes, you know.
yeah. The only like impression I know I can do kind of is I can do like a Louis Armstrong voice, like the I see trees of green, but like it fucking hurts a lot, and I need to practice it, but it's also loud as shit, and that's my only impression I know I can nail, but like I feel like you got a lot in your quiver.
I like to, yeah, I think I like doing Jordan Peterson sometimes too. I don't really have like a joke for him or anything, but you know, okay, here's the thing. Look, he's on stage, and sometimes he's just like saying something, and then he gets into an argument with himself. Why do you think that? Maybe you're dumb. That's why. And it's just like he's kind of having this like contentious debate with himself, and it's very like I legitimately like him, but he's also just like hilarious too at the same time. He sounds like Kermit the Frog, and he's just very I don't know. He just keeps getting very angry for no reason sometimes.
Is your girlfriend still super progressive?
She's pretty progressive, you know.
Probably cut the part where you said you actually like Jordan Peterson.
No, she knows. She knows. No, listening to him, like I feel like I'm on an acid trip listening to him sometimes, you know, because he's like, okay, sometimes, you know, you think you're just going about your day, you're trying to pay your taxes, but they're not taxes. They're a dragon, okay? And I'm just like, I don't know why, but for whatever reason, like, I feel like I understand what he's talking about, but I couldn't really, like, explain why.
I mean, some people are fun to watch, and yeah, he's one of them. Yeah, I was gonna I guess now, yeah, you can also do Kermit the Frog. I never realized how similar they were until you. What a wonderful world. Anyways,
Do you have any impressions, Samson?
No, not really. I feel like I want to like do impressions really bad, and I can hear them in my head like what I need to do for them, but I just haven't figured out like the right way to like make my voice do that. And it's really fucking embarrassing to sit around in front of a mirror and practice impressions for like
who's
a
it
while.
embarrassing for?
Me.
That opinion matters the least when you're performing. So
Yeah, I know, but you know what? It's I don't know. There's something about like sitting down and like practicing like someone else's voice that's just like hard for me to like sit down and focus on. Like,
Andy Dufresne.
I mean, it's kind of schizophrenic, really. At least I don't know how other people do it, but for me, it's just sort of this like compulsion that happens. So, like, I was in a hotel once on like a business trip or something, and I just started like trying to see if I could do like the Joker voice, and like maybe like 5 minutes. I mean, I'm talking like, you want to know how I got these scars? You know, just like for no fucking, you know. And then I was like, I wonder if there's somebody in like the hotel like next to me, like just kind of going, what the fuck am I hearing? So I think you have to be like a little bit insane to do that. I don't know, like you're kind of just being possessed by someone else, is what it feels like.
I think you're an artist.
Yeah.
What's like, is there any other realms of performing that you want to do but haven't?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think probably just something comedy related, I guess. I haven't really considered anything other than that. You know, so like sketch comedy and just all the online stuff looks interesting too. But yeah, I think something silly, funny is kind of what I gravitate towards. Yeah, I kind of just have a hard time, like even for things that I feel very passionately about, I still like kind of can see that they're pretty funny too at the same time. So
It's all funny.
yeah.
Anything like music related or anything like that?
I mean, I do program. Like, I'm a software engineer. It's like how I make my money.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that for like over 10 years now. And like,
Nice.
I did like a little bit of like MIDI like stuff or whatever, but no music or anything like that. Like digital music is cool.
Digital music.
Yeah. Of course, the AI is going to do it all pretty soon. So, you know.
As far as like software engineering, do you like work on like UX or like
Mostly like back
Back-end?
end
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
which like nobody really knows what that means.
Yeah.
Like even
I don't.
most people,
What's
it's basically like crunching numbers and making sure that like, you know, if you move money like out of your bank account, that it actually gets moved out of your bank account and doesn't like, you know, multiply or divide or, you know, do something incorrect.
So if like you did that for my bank account, I mean, could you maybe make it multiply?
Make a little couple add a couple of pennies each time. and-
every time you do a
What's
transfer?
the movie
another
where they
$100?
Office Space?
Office Space, yeah. And they fuck it up, which is a very like relatable software thing.
Dude, I love Office
Or
Space. I
could
think
you
it's so fucking
could you
good.
make that happen?
People try that, you know.
I bet.
it's, yeah.
Fractions of
What
pennies.
was- There's this one movie where like someone like hacked into like the student national debt and they just like erased everybody's debt.
Oh yeah,
I forget what it
was.
what
That
it was
Fight
called.
Club?
Was it?
I think. Well, they erased all the debt, you know, and then they like blew up all the banks that had the paper copies at the end.
I think
It's
that
like when the
was
buildings
Fight
went
Club.
down. Yeah.
What's like some popular movies that you guys hear about but you haven't seen, but you not because like you hate like you just like my
Just
I
haven't
haven't
gotten
seen
to
a
it.
Mad Max movie, and
Oh, me
I
neither.
get talked about that to me like people are, you know, my name, and so like it's mentioned to me all the time. I've just never seen one.
New ones or old ones? Haven't seen any of them.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like
series. I've seen any.
I've never seen The Godfather
Really?
in its
Oh.
entirety.
I
Yeah.
actually don't think I have either.
Yeah, I mean,
I
yeah.
feel like I've like started it, but I've never actually like sat down and watched The Godfather. Another one of those is The Irishman. Everyone was telling me to watch that one, and I never did. There's definitely like some movies that I've like watched once, but just refuse to watch ever again, just because I feel like I've seen it and there's no reason to.
You have seen it.
Yeah, but like a lot of them, like I don't remember anything from the movie. It's just like I know that I've seen that movie, but I couldn't tell you anything about it.
I'm like that with
Oh, yeah.
Titanic. I've seen it like 3 or 4 times, but the movie is 10 hours long.
I'm not gonna
and I
watch that movie.
Yeah, it's one of those. If it's on TV, okay, but it's like it's one of those movies you leave on and then you watch the beginning and you see Leo being all cute or whatever, and then you leave for 6 hours and you come back and then it's back to the
he's like,
girl on the painting is me, and like, we're here now. Like,
We're not even in the water yet.
yeah,
Have you guys seen the Planet of the Apes movies?
no,
Dude, I
You
love those
haven't?
movies.
Dude, those
Yeah.
are some of my favorite movies of all time.
Unironically, I love those
Dude,
movies.
they are
yeah.
so fucking good. I watched like all of them the other night, just like all in a row, and I was like, I am monkey.
Hell yeah. No, I love those movies. Remind me of like I'm like a Star Trek nerd. You know,
nice.
they remind me of like, you know, the '90s Star Treks where they're like, okay, here's an interesting little moral dilemma. You know, like what if you went to a planet and all the white people were discriminated against? You know, like to get you like thinking. You know,
imagine.
I love that shit.
Imagine it.
Depending on who you ask, it's either a horror or like a feel good. To all of us, we're like, oh man, I don't have time to be scared right now. Hell yeah. What's your favorite musical?
Oh, that's a good question.
Is it?
Yeah, because I don't know. I feel like I should have there's a lot of questions like that I feel like I should have quick answers to. But like what's coming to mind is the Book of Mormon. Like I
Hell
saw
yeah.
that recently.
Where?
Really good.
Here?
No, in New York. Like actually not even recently. This was like 5 years ago. So
Same.
you know, feels recent. I don't
You
know.
saw it on Broadway?
Yeah.
Nice. Me too.
It was fun. Yeah.
It's a great show. I was sitting next to my mom when I watched it, and she was getting annoyed at me because I was like mouthing along the whole thing. And then we sat in, like, you know how like they have like that, I think it's in Times Square, where they have those bleachers with a ticket counter behind it, and they do like, it's like a standby ticket for a plane, but for Broadway shows, or tickets that don't sell, they sell for cheap like that day. We went to see Book of Mormon, and we got like nosebleed seats, and we sat next to this Australian dude, and we were there for like a wedding, but it was also like sort of a last minute late 21st birthday thing with me and my mom, and we were sitting in this dude came down, he's like, "Oh guys, I'm gonna go to the bar and get a fucking drink. You guys want anything?" And I like didn't know how to like order drinks or anything, but there was a Hannibal Buress joke where he talks about getting a gin and ginger ale, and I was like, "Give me a gin and ginger ale to go. I don't like this place." and then he's like, "You're all right, man." And he brought me back a drink in like the Broadway sippy cup thing, and I think I've lost it since then. I wish I kept it, but I remember my mom was like, "Are you really gonna drink that?" I was like, "Yeah, you got it for me." And she was like, "Is there alcohol in it?" And I'm like, "I think so." And she was like, "Let me try it." And I was like, "Mom, you haven't drank in like 5 years. I don't want you didn't have a problem or anything. You just stopped." Which is crazy. But then she took a sip. She's like, "There's booze in there." I'm like, "Yeah." And then it was a good show.
She's never been the same.
Yeah. But Book of Mormon, dude. What's your favorite song in it?
Ooh, let's see. The opening song when they're doing like the doorbell ringing. Hello. Yeah.
My name. Yeah.
That one's pretty good. What's the one where like the Be a Man song, you know?
Oh, Man Up.
Man Up. Yeah. That was a pretty good one.
Did you see that they're making Spaceballs 2 with Josh Gad?
Wait, for real?
Yeah.
It's been like 30 years or 40 years or something?
Yeah, dude, quest for more money or whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, apparently there's still like very early developments of it. But yeah, Josh Gad is like going to be the main something in it. I don't know who he's going to play. I don't know if they're going to, I mean, they can't get a Barf or whatever. But he died, right?
Who?
Was it Chris Farley? No.
Chris Farley, yeah.
Was he dead. In Spaceballs?
Yes.
Or was it John? It was
John
Chris Farley?
Candy?
One of those two.
Oh.
I think it was
They're
Chris
both dead,
Farley
right?
in Spaceballs.
Either way, they're both dead, right?
Yeah, they're both dead. For
Okay.
sure. Yeah, they both died in the 90s.
Yeah, that's a tough one. So,
I mean, Mel Brooks, he's still alive, right? Is he
He
like
is.
in his 90s
Mel
or
Brooks
something?
is still alive. Mel Brooks is fucking legend.
he just got a
legend, dude.
He got PGOT status.
He did?
He got a Peabody Award, an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and a Tony.
Damn.
Dude,
He's like one of the like 4 people who have that.
that's fucking
crazy.
awesome. Yeah.
Being a silly goose.
So you said they were making a Spaceballs sequel, right?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. What did you see who they were gonna have in it?
I only know
Other than
Josh Gad. That's all I
You
know.
don't know. It's John Candy who was in it.
Okay.
Rick Moranis and John Candy and Mel Brooks.
If they bring Rick, actually, okay. So there was a comment on the thing on Josh Gad's post about it when he put up a bunch of screenshots, like articles about it, where people are like, Josh Gad playing in Spaceballs 2, and somebody commented, if Rick Moranis isn't in this, I'm not watching it. And then Josh Gad commented on it, and he said, correct. So, is he coming out of retirement?
Maybe. He's 71. That's pretty old.
Sure, yeah, but I mean, he's been away from Hollywood for a minute. He's probably
True.
just, been relaxing, and he's probably doing okay.
What was his last movie? Was it... Wait.
I mean, the Rick Moranis story is pretty sad, but
Flintstones, Little Giants...
Yeah, didn't he quit Hollywood so he could like raise his kids because his wife died or something?
Yeah, she had like breast cancer and died, and which is fucking good for him for having his priorities straight. I think that's really cool, and not a lot of people would have done that. But
he's credited in the Ghostbusters Afterlife movie from 2021.
He might be taking a few steps back in, which I think is why Josh Gad gave such a vague but hopeful response to.
But yeah, he pretty much hadn't done any live action acting since like before 2000. After that, he just did like Brother Bear, a couple animated films.
He was Seymour in Little Shop of Horrors.
Yes, he was.
The movie.
Howard. When did he do this? Oh, it's a documentary musical.
He's got a nice voice.
Howard Ashman writes and composes.
He reminds me of Hunter Foster. You guys don't know who that is.
I don't know.
No, I don't know who that is.
Elton Sampson would like, oh yeah, totally.
No, I don't know who that is.
He's a singer guy. Yeah. If someone made a movie about you, what would the movie be about?
What would the movie? I feel like it'd be a pretty boring movie, honestly. You know, just like maybe like the interesting version. I guess like computer stuff, with like one of the cool computer hacker movies, like Swordfish or something. Like, wasn't the guy he had to like hack into like a computer while he was getting a blowjob, like Halle Berry or something like that?
You just want that scene. That sounds cool. You're like, I don't care about the movie. I just want a 5-minute scene.
I still want Halle Berry. I don't care how old she is right now.
I want to work on Excel spreadsheets and get my dick sucked, dude. Okay, how about this? Maybe this will help draw your for like. Okay, downfall would be to make you have a movie. If you had an intervention thrown for you, what are people gonna be like? Andrew, you gotta fucking stop doing improv or whatever. You're turning into all your voices or something.
Oh shit! I mean, yeah, I don't know. I used to be like really overweight, so maybe if I like kind of like got back on the the McDonald's bandwagon, or whatever, and just sort of like let that go out of control. Maybe that would be it. Like I'd be like one of those guys on like The Biggest Loser, or like who can't get out of bed or something like that.
How overweight were you?
I was over 300 pounds.
Damn, yeah. Tanya.
Yeah.
Do you have any pictures?
I could probably find one, yeah.
Just because you're tall, and so I don't know if it's like it was a muscular 300 or
not really. I mean,
if you want to like send it to me later, I can just put it up on here or something. If you're cool with that being online.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I just cannot imagine you like. What did you do? What's your weight loss regimen?
I mean, it was kind of like little things, like I basically just took whatever I was doing in my life, and I found like one thing where I could make like a small adjustment, and it wasn't even anything like big. I remember the first thing that I did was I would go get fast food, and instead of getting like the large, I'd order like the medium, and that'd be one change, and I would do that for a couple weeks and be like, okay, instead of getting a Coke, can I get like an iced tea or a Diet Coke or something? Do that for a couple of weeks. So it took like a couple years before like, seeing results that way, but just like little like things over time. And I think after like maybe like 3 years or something, like it kind of accelerated or whatever. There was like a weight loss competition for like my work, so I really like stepped it up for that.
So
yeah.
Did you always have like kind of a weight issue, or was it like you were built like this and then you just had a few years where you let yourself go and then you got back better? Or
no, kind of like, since like hitting puberty, just definitely had like a weight issue. I think like 13 or something like that. I definitely was just like a stress eater, and then just and then definitely just kind of mindlessly eating, like, you do it in front of the TV or something like that.
That's the same issue for sure. And it's like the little changes are definitely what helps the most, and just like trying to like switch your diet up like regularly until you're at a point where like it's consistent. Because I was like that too in high school and stuff, just stress eating all the time, or like bored eating was like a problem of mine, where like if I was bored, I would just be like, okay, well, I'm going to make like food or something, and fucking sit in front of the TV and just munch.
What made you stress eat?
What made me stress eat? Let's see.
Aside from the obvious, crippling and impending doom of the future or whatever.
Had a weird family growing up, we didn't talk about feelings, like it's
feel that.
Yeah. I mean, they still came out, but just in very like odd ways that are hard to like, because it wasn't
abuse.
It wasn't. Yeah, but it was like quirky abuse, or like weird, like, because it wasn't like anybody was getting like hit or anything like that. I remember like one day we were all like in our kitchen having some sort of like fight, but nobody's like talking about the fight, like kind of one of those things. And I have like 4 siblings, and so a lot of kids, and so my brother just picks up our family dog. He's like this little like Bichon Frigé, which is like a tiny, like basically like a tiny poodle kind of thing. He picks him up, like holds him up right to his face, and he's like, the dog's name is Rocky. He's like, you know, Rocky, I feel like nobody in this family fucking respects me. And he says
That's
it
how
like,
you get it.
He says it like kind of a joke, but also kind of bad. He puts Rocky down, and then
Everybody just looks at him or what?
well, no, here's the magical thing that happened next. My sister then picks up Rocky, and she's like, you know, Rocky, nobody ever comes to my volleyball game. Like,
Oh, it's like the when people like do puppet therapy.
it was basically that. Like, we discovered it by accident.
God.
So, like, several people took turns with Rocky, like, explaining, like, the frustrations they were having.
Honestly, it seems like a
genius.
very healthy way of
So
dealing
mature.
with it. Like, it's different, but it doesn't seem bad. Like,
You know, the only
Rocky's
weird...
probably stoked the whole time.
That dog's
someone's got to
fucked up.
suffer from it. Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Dude, that is a great scene in like a movie or something, honestly. Like, that would be such a good fucking just like some like comedy, like, you know, Idiot Brother, like one of those type of movies where it's just like about like kind of a family dramedy or whatever. Like, yeah, that's a great fucking scene. You gotta keep that one in your pocket for sure.
Write it down.
Oh my god.
Very like
dude.
passive aggressive
Nobody-
family. It's like, all right, everybody yell at the dog.
Here's what we're gonna do. We're all gonna pick up the dog and scream into its face what we're feeling.
Your dad, your mom's like, Rocky, get in here.
I'm not getting nearly enough blowjobs, Rocky.
She's like, well, maybe if you're on your spreadsheets, more doing work. Here. I love you, babe. I'm sorry. I'm just.
Rocky's got like 6 broken ribs.
Dun, 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 dun.
He was a good dog.
Yeah, I bet. It sounds like
Sounds like a really good dog. One of my clients has this cat that apparently ate a bunch of cigarettes one time when it was a kitten, and so now it's just obsessed with nicotine. And so like I was over there the other day and I had some cigarettes in my backpack, and the cat comes over and starts just like rubbing on my backpack a bunch. I'm like, what is going on with this cat? And they're like, oh, he's heavily addicted to tobacco. Do you have any tobacco products in there? Like, yeah, there's some cigarettes in there. You want me to light them up one? Like, what? And apparently it's like anytime anybody is over with any kind of tobacco product, that cat will just fucking come up to him like, chew fucking cigarettes. Like,
it's got 9
pipes.
lives. Might as well.
yeah, exactly.
What's a cat? I feel like if I was a cat, I would smoke all the time. It's
Yeah,
like
dude, I would be smoking constantly if I was a cat.
every other life, I would be smoking.
Especially if I was like an indoor cat. I feel like those cats have it rough. They really want to be outside.
Dude, well, the other thing is funny because it's like, morally, you want to let your cat outside so it can roam around, but like also you shouldn't do that from a moral standpoint because it will ravage the local ecosystem.
Yeah, and
Cats-
then run under a car and die.
Cats are known for like destroying and putting more like native birds into extinction than any other animal. Like, and it's a serious problem in most areas where there's like thousands of stray cats just making birds go extinct, like in Hawaii and shit. Like, they have hunting licenses for stray cats where you can go out and just fucking hunt fucking tabby cats in the jungle.
A hunting license for a cat?
I'm pretty sure.
Hey,
they
come
do
on,
that.
just have an open season for it.
It might be an open season. Like, it's.
I wonder what people do with the. Do they just leave them in the street, or do they? Is there like a something you can do with cats? Like you.
Well,
you're
there's more
making
than
boots
one
out
way
of
to
them?
skin a cat.
There sure are. And you wouldn't know that unless you had multiple dead ones on your person.
So they're probably just skinning them all. They go to Hawaii and they're like, natural leather flip flops. And you're like, what?
I don't see any cows. It's cats. If you touch me. It's Cats from Cats the Musical. Anyways.
Is that your favorite musical?
No.
I like the movie version.
I've been
Those cats are fucking hot, dude.
whenever it's real people in the cat. You get it. But I've been whenever I'm at work driving somebody around, and Taylor Swift comes up. I've been making a really hard effort to say like, oh, Taylor, like she's the girl from Cats. People get really upset when you do that. I know her. She was in the Cats movie.
Was she actually?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, Taylor fans are really into Taylor. You know, like it's a thing for them.
And I love Taylor too. I think she's great. She's got great songs, but damn, isn't it not funny to fucking piss off a Swiftie by saying you only know her from the Cats movie?
I'm more of a Dua Lipa fan myself.
Easy to love me. What's coming up, Doc?
What's coming up?
Yeah.
You got any shows?
You know, I don't know if I do actually.
Oh.
Yeah, I got nothing. You got a roast battle coming up though, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
You're doing next week, next Friday?
This yeah.
Or this
next
coming Friday now?
Yeah.
I guess Tyler was looking for someone, but I didn't respond quick enough. I was thinking on it for too long. So he unsent the message on Facebook.
I didn't know you could do that.
It literally just says message was unsent, but it still shows that there was a message there.
It doesn't show what they said though?
No, it won't. But if you read it before they unsent it, then you know what they said.
That's so true. Yeah. I never thought of it like that.
So I'm just like, oh, I guess he doesn't want me on the show anymore. We probably just filled the spot because I took fucking a day and a half to even think about responding.
Yeah, Tyler, I get it. I would have done the same thing.
I also would have done the same thing.
Too long.
Yeah, that's too long.
For a show you'll be on stage for 5 minutes of.
Exactly.
But yeah, it'll be fun.
Do you know who you're roasting at?
Previous guest, Brett Haney.
Oh yeah, that's right. You told me that.
Better dread than red. Red, fuck.
You got a week. You got time.
Dreadhead versus redhead. I don't know. Yeah, Brett. Well, yeah.
Nice.
That's fun. Yeah, people who have like a distinct look, they're easier to roast. You know.
I feel like, yeah.
It's also like makes it tougher because then there's definitely like jokes that you know that have been done before, and so that you gotta like make sure that you're not doing anything that's.
We're working on it.
Insane.
We're working on it. I think I got some slams. We'll figure it out. Anyways.
Andrew, how long have you lived in Boise for?
About 2 years.
Where'd you move here from?
From Oregon originally. I was born in Portland, and then I was living in like small towns.
That makes sense. Why your family's weird. You're from Portland.
It's a weird place. Keeps getting weirder.
I meet a lot of weird people from that area. I have a lot of friends who like have moved to Portland recently, and like they like say how much they love it, but then I go and visit them, and they're like, "Yeah, last time I was at this bar, someone like shot a gun into it," and I'm like, "This doesn't sound like a fun place to be, man." They're like, "No, it hasn't happened in like 2 weeks." You're fine.
Oh, Portland.
Used to be a lot chiller. Yeah.
It still has chill spots for sure, but like, yeah, there are some spots where it's like, "What the fuck, Portland? What happened?"
If you were outside of yourself, talking to yourself, what's a question you would ask you?
Ooh, I don't know. Oh, you know what? I would bring up the student government thing again because I just remembered I have a story about when I ran for student government.
Dish, bitch.
Okay, yeah. I feel like a lot of comedians do, because I ran for student government not because I wanted to like do the thing. I just kind of wanted to like give a speech in front of people and say like funny shit.
I feel that.
And I remember because you had to turn it into like a teacher to like review the speech ahead of time.
You had to turn your speech into a teacher.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What?
How do you turn words? You're a teacher now.
That's wild, dude. We didn't have to tell our teachers what we were gonna say.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, I went way dumber with that. I was thinking you're like, and you're a teacher now.
Presto.
Turned it into a teacher.
But yeah, I got my first draft back, and like he'd crossed out like literally everything, and he'd written atop like
Probably had the N-word in it a lot.
You know, you got to get people's attention somehow. You know,
keep
Attention
Portland
economy.
weird.
But yeah, he'd written at the top like "this deeply disturbed me" or something like that. You know. And
But was it funny, Professor?
I don't know. You know, like I thought it was funny at the time. I was like 17, so maybe I don't know. What did I say?
A little fringe, maybe.
We'd had a bomb threat like earlier in the year, you know, and like a big like something they kept doing
We
during.
just had snow days.
We had a bomb threat once before you moved to McCall.
Well,
But it was a powder day, and I'm 90% sure it was because they weren't going to give us a snow day, and some high school kid wanted to go skiing. I'm actually 90% sure anytime a bomb threat occurs at a high school, a small high school, it's because one kid was like, I don't want to go to school today.
You're 90% sure?
I'm like 90% sure that's what happens, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. In my case, we were like in school when they called it in, so I don't know if like someone fucked it up or something, or because I don't think there actually was a bomb.
How much did it snow?
It was Portland, so it didn't snow at all.
Yeah, but how much did it snow Mount Hood?
It might have been snowing. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
2 or 3 ski resorts within an hour drive of Portland.
Yeah, but they kept like coming onto the intercom and be like, hey, if anybody comes forward, with information about the bomb threat, there's going to be no negative repercussions. And I think part of my speech for like improving the school, I think I proposed that like,
should be,
there's really no incentive to come forward because there's no negative repercussions if you don't come forward either. So that they should like also offer like a gift card to like JCPenney or something in addition to like,
I guess I'm the only one bombing here.
I guess he didn't like that or something,
Oh my god!
But he didn't like that man was like extremely jaded. I had another like part in there where I talked about like as a like why I was qualified was that I loved animals as a young child. I befriended an orca named Willie, and I ended up like the joke was that I was the kid in Free Willy, And he's like, I see what you're trying to do here. I'm like, yeah, I'm the kid from Free Willy. He's like, no, I see what you're really trying to do. I'm like what? And he's like, come on, I know what that means. I'm like, what? What does what mean? He's like, Free Willy means taking your dong out. I know that. Like, he literally, what?
I like to think I'm pretty immature, but I didn't think of that.
Dude, that guy is hilarious.
I think he knew what he was doing.
That man was constantly looking for penis jokes. He was shell-shocked.
Oh my god, dude. Honestly, after working in a high school for like 20 years, you probably would be too. You just like see the penis joke and everything. You're like...
The 3, I remember I watched, we went on like a road trip with another family that was friends with our family, and we watched all of the Free Willy movies for the drive, because we had like the little TV you could put between the driver and passenger seat and this little VCR thing. We could watch movies, and those were all 3 of those movies were the first movies to make me cry during a movie.
Really?
It's not like I was like whatever age you start watching movies and remembering them at, but like, yeah, all 3 Free Willy movies have made me cry.
That makes sense.
They are so good.
They are good.
I'm just now learning there's more than one Free Willy movie.
Yeah, you didn't know about 2 and 3?
What happens? He's free. Like, what is there?
He frees more Willies, dude. What do you mean? Willie has children and he frees them, damn it.
Isn't it? I feel like I can't totally remember. I feel like isn't the last one like sort of the Home Alone thing where the third one is like a different kid that saves a different whale?
I think so. I think you might be right. But the second one is definitely like...
Yeah, that was like a continuation of the other one. But
I can't remember exactly what the plot line is. I'm pretty sure he like frees like Willie's wife or something. Like it's something like he like creates this whale love. And I could be totally off base because I don't remember anything from the movie, but I just have a gut feeling that that's what it is.
Yeah, I just remember the that it's Willie because the dorsal fin is
flopped.
Yeah,
it's such a depressing thing to see.
Yeah,
they actually did free him, didn't they?
Yeah, yeah. There's it's on the cover where he's like under the whale and it's jumping over him, and he's like, "Go, Willie, to the ocean."
But like the real, the one they used
real whale?
the real
No.
whale, like in real life.
No, not for like 20 years after the movie.
Yeah, I don't know. About that.
It took them a while until the whale killed a lady, I'm pretty sure. Then they're like, oh, maybe we should let this whale go. He seems kind of pissed.
Yeah.
I think his name was like Kukumchuk or something. I don't know.
Cool name.
That documentary was insane. Blackfish.
Blackfish.
Oh my god,
bro.
Like when the trainer, when he was like fucking with the trainer, and he would like drag the trainer down to like the bottom of the tank, and the trainer would start to swim away, drag him down again.
Yeah, grab him by the foot and just keep dragging him down. Oh,
like holy shit, man.
Oh, thank you.
It's like, yeah, that's what you get for being a ringmaster of whales, dude. I'm sorry. Like, they're gonna get pissed if you fucking treat them like dumbasses the whole time. They're way smarter than us.
Like we're lucky we got dogs and cats where they are. Like, you're gonna try a whale, dude?
A killer whale, the apex predator of the world.
Things that just crash yachts for fun.
And murder sharks just for the fuck of it. Like, oh, I'm just gonna eat the shark's liver and leave him floating here and then leave. Like,
Send a message, yeah.
Like they're gangsters of the ocean, man.
Yeah.
I think we should just leave them alone, honestly. Yeah,
I think so too.
Yeah, when I heard about like the yacht thing or when they're just tipping boats just for fun, like, okay, you know, I think enough's enough. We should just call it truth.
Just stay out of the ocean like from now on. Like
Ocean's
nobody
scary.
else is allowed.
Scary place.
I saw this video a couple days ago of a lady on like a fucking paddleboard, and she's like a half mile from shore, and there are 4 to 5 fucking orcas literally circling her and like bumping into her paddleboard and shit. And she's like, "It's okay, they're just saying hi. They're just saying hi." I'm like, "Yeah, keep telling yourself that, lady."
Jesus Christ.
And they just keep like just bumping into her, and one's like kind of nibbling on the side of the board and stuff, and you're like, oh my god, bro, just kill yourself right there. Like,
P. Sherman, 42 Wallaby Way, Cindy. Sydney. Shit. I keep fucking up words.
111, make a wish.
Is that a time where you can do that?
It's any angel number. Which
What's
means
an angel number?
It's whenever all the numbers are the same.
Yo, speaking of, if you always be an angel, that's a Rent reference, but Angel's the best character in Rent, and you should always try to be like them.
Which means that 666 is also an angel number.
That's not a time that exists, though.
I mean, Satan was an angel, you know?
Oh, yeah.
That's 7:05, baby.
My bad.
Fact checked.
You guys' watches work different than mine. I'm on military time. What are you talking about?
Doesn't exist military time either, man. Which military?
You can't go to 66 minutes, really?
Do you guys believe in like astrology shit?
I mean, you know,
According to the girl I went on a date with last night, yes.
as of currently, I'm gonna go to the bathroom while you debate the stars.
I don't know, man. I feel like astrology shit is like the same as like people who do like those like cold readings, like psychic cold readings, you know, where it's like you just say things that are generally agreeable with most people. And then people are like, oh yeah, that's definitely me. That's a Sagittarius thing. Like, I have these emotions. It's like, yeah, everybody feels that way. Or like most people feel that way, you know? And it's like, I don't know. The astrology thing is weird to me because it's like some people are so adamant about it. And there are some things where I'll like read and I'll be like, whoa, that did feel very spot on. But then again, it's like, there's so many of those where, you know, like same with the personality test shit, you know, like it's like there's all these different personality types and there's always more coming out, and like you can be introverted and extroverted now, and dude, it's like, yeah, I'm extroverted on days that I want to talk to people, and I'm introverted on days that I feel like shit. Like, everybody feels that way, I'm pretty sure.
Sometimes you're sad, except when you're not.
Exactly.
You know?
Like, it's just like, dude, why are we always trying to like classify people in these like types of like mindsets or like thinking ways? It's like, why can't we just like realize that like we all feel a little bit differently on certain days and maybe similarly on other days?
I know what you mean. If you fixate too hard onto a label, you start to like reinforce that. You're like, no,
Exactly.
I have to act this way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like with astrology, I feel like that's like a huge thing that people do where like, yeah, they're reading all these fucking like horoscope things or like traits about yourself. That's one thing that I hate is like when people try to tell you things about yourself, you know, like, and that's like what astrology is really all about, is being like, you do this because you were born in this period of time. And it's like, that's, you do this because of the way you were raised, like, or because of certain things that happened in your life. Like,
I feel like it's just a way to be like kind of bigoted adjacent without actually being like people like everyone knows like guitarists can't drive, or
yeah.
You know, cancers, they control the media or whatever, or
Geminis are crazy. That's
yeah.
one. You know?
That one's true though.
I mean, it kind of is. What are you? I'm a Gemini. What are you guys?
I'm a Taurus.
I'm a Sagittarius.
Oh yeah.
Which, like, people are always like, Sagittarius are really stubborn. I'm like, okay, but so are a lot of people.
Fuck you. No, I'm not.
To me, being a Taurus means that my parents fucked in July.
Yeah. That's what it means.
I think it's a fun way to talk about yourself.
They made love in July.
No, I think that it's definitely interesting, and like especially like when you're like reading about it, you know, and like you're actually seeing parallels in the way that you feel or like act. But then there are so many elements to it that are like, that is literally just a fucking human trait. That is literally just something that everybody does or that most people do, and like you're just trying to get me to be agreeable with this. And like that's the most frustrating part for me, is like that's a proven fucking thing that like scammers like in the, you know, psychic space use, where they like look you up and down and they start asking like these qualifying questions basically that like most people are gonna have the same answer to, and then they just start like saying things about your life because based off those answers or whatever. It's like, this person's not psychic, they're just a little bit intuitive and have a logical critical thinking set, you know? Like,
look, if you read somewhere that you're a whatever star sign and that is why you're trying your best to be a good person because that star sign says you should, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. That's cool.
Totally.
Good for you if that's what it takes.
I think if you're having fun with it, just keep doing it, you know? Like, if you're just, like, using it, like you're saying, as an excuse, just be an asshole to someone, like, oh, you're such a fucking Taurus or something, then, you know, maybe reconsider.
No, totally. I think it's, like, I believe, like, yeah, it's great. If you're having fun with it, go for it, you know? But, like, if you're basing your, like, life decisions off of, like, star charts and fucking what time of the year you were born, you're fucking retarded. I'm sorry. Like, that's
say it more. It might fucking turn into
it's fucking stupid.
It's like people who, you know, they hear you're from people here that hear you're from California and they automatically, you're a piece of garbage. I hate you, you fucking city folk, whatever. And it's like, hey man, there's assholes here too.
Yeah.
Like, people in Idaho have been dicks forever, and yeah, there's been dicks in California, but like just because they're from there's nice people from both of those places too.
I saw a psychic once.
You what?
I saw a psychic once. I went to a psychic.
How'd it go?
I didn't have the heart to tell her that she wasn't like getting it. You know?
And that's why they keep getting away with this shit.
Dude, come on.
She was like, okay, you know, I can tell the money's troubling you, but don't worry about it. It's going to work out. And I was like, okay.
Like, man. Bitch, I'm a software engineer. Money will never be an issue for me. Not in this world.
I mean, like, you know, it's like I could use more money, but I wasn't like facing bankruptcy or medical debt or anything like. So, you know, didn't really feel. But I was there with my friend, and she was like, she was like, I have to see her again, you know? She was like, so I don't know. I guess it works for some people.
She was right. I am blonde.
How could she tell my hair dyed? I don't know your roots.
I think that's why a lot of things like that just sort of work. Because yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of other people like me who go to these psychic people, and I just didn't have the heart to interrupt her and be like, no, you totally are not like understanding me at all.
You're like off base very far.
I always wanted to go to one of the and like just give them all the wrong information, just because I feel like I'd believe them to be like, no, dude, like I don't. Whatever you gave me does not match like you right now. I'd be like, okay, you might be legit, but if I was like, yeah, I lost my arm and it grew back or something, and they'd like to turn my future off, they'd be like, you're full of shit. You're just trying to make me feel good, sort of thing.
I mean, if you think of it like, you know, it's $40 or $50 to just hog the conversation and be a total narcissist the whole time. Like, that's kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you haven't really sent me any money yet for being on this podcast, which are normally
Maybe that's what we should do. We should just give people's fortunes on the podcast and then charge them like $100.
Dude, yeah.
And just give them really good fortunes so that they feel good when they leave. That's what they do, I feel like. They just like make you feel good about whatever spot you're in your life so that you feel like the $50 you paid them for making a bunch of shit up was worth it.
No.
You know, I'm okay with that. Like,
that's fine, but I'm going to start doing that grift if people are okay with that.
Andrew, in 2 years, some part of your life will probably be better. So, I don't know about all of it, but something. Maybe like...
Tell me more. Which part?
I don't know. You might just start getting like cashmere sweaters instead of cotton.
That feels right.
That'll
feel nice. That does feel like Andrew.
Maybe you'll start like moisturizing more. I don't know.
Okay.
Little thing. Yeah, but you probably won't, get rich. But
You know, honestly, if you'd said that like a little more confident, I would probably be like with you. I'd be like, maybe.
You know,
maybe
I'm getting a message.
You're a better psychic than she was.
I'm getting a message right now from your deceased dog, Rocky. Did you have a dog named Rocky?
I did have a dog name.
Yeah. So
okay.
he's speaking to me. He's speaking to me right now. He's saying that you're gonna have a prosperous life and that you're gonna marry a beautiful woman someday.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Rocky.
Yeah, I know. And this woman will. She'll blow you while working on Excel sheets.
Damn.
Whoa.
That's everything I ever wanted.
I know.
That's amazing.
How did he know?
Yep, so $50. Or else Rocky will never hear from you again.
Holy shit. That would be so exhausting if you actually were psychic and could talk to people's dead relatives.
Oh, dude, I heard a story like from my stepdad. I went out to dinner with him, and a couple of our family friends were like out shopping for stuff or something, and our friend she's pregnant, and she's like gonna have birth pretty soon, and this lady like came up to her and was like, Mia, like I'm having this like vision that your mom like thinks that like this next birth for you is going to be really rough and you need to have a water birth. And like she like was like, that's fucking crazy, because like my mom used to call me Mija. Like my mom was really adamant about like me having a water birth for my first child, and then like died in a car accident or whatever like in the last like 2 years. And then the lady who like said this, she was like, sorry, I just like got that message. I've always like had this like clairvoyance and stuff like ever since I was a kid, and then just left. Like, and like
that
didn't
sounds
ask,
more legit than charging
right?
people.
Didn't ask for like anything in return. Didn't like say anything like, but just like had that message or whatever, and then like took off, right? And just like was like, yeah, that's, and it's like that to me like feels way more legit than like any type of like other thing I've heard.
We're at about our
Yeah, this is pretty far in for what we
time
do.
time limit. If someone likes you watching this, what should they look up to like you more?
Oh, I guess my Instagram, the last Andrew Kent.
The last one.
Are you sure you're the last one?
I think so. I checked.
Any relation to Clark Kent?
I mean,
Henry Cavill.
couldn't say.
Dude, you can just pull your...
Yeah, you need like a little curl. Here's 2 pretty good stickers
Oh, dude, awesome.
for coming on the Pretty Good Podcast.
All right, I get swag. That's awesome.
You can have more if you
No,
want.
you can only have 2.
Okay. That's cool.
You can have more.
You know,
Put them around town. Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys.
This was a hoot.
yeah, this is fun. Thanks for coming on.
It's fun, guys.
Yeah, look
yeah,
up
man.
the last Andrew Kent.
Watch out for the last one.
And watch Free Willy and stuff.
1
You'll
3
cry.
And peg your girlfriends, boyfriends.
Give it a shot. See what happens.
Try it out.